episode of Horror Hangout podcast where three bearded film fans watch the best and worst horror movies of all time. My name is Luke Condor with a K. I'm joined by my regular co-host, Mr.
Andy Conduit Turner. Hello. and over there.
And Mr. Ben Errington again. Againington.
How's it going? Are you okay?
Yeah. Thank you. How are you doing?
Yes.
Yeah, I like that. Againington. It's me, Againington.
It's me, Againington. It's me, the ever-present, the ever-vescent. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Ever-vescent.
Sparkling water.
That's right. The ever-present, the ever-vescent, the something else.
Evanescence.
Evanescent. The ever-present. It's just me. I'm here again every week. We won't fail.
Rain or shine.
Rain or shine. The weather doesn't affect things in the world of podcasting. It really doesn't. In fact, I quite like it when it's raining and I'm doing a podcast.
Yeah,
your mom isn't going to come in and say, you should be outside, Ben, every day like this.
It's a lovely evening. It's 9 p.m. You should be outside playing curbs.
Playing football.
Kirby.
Call it curbs? Kirby.
Yeah, a bit of Kirby.
That's a great game. Did you do you prefer to record like late when it's dark outside or like earlier when it's light outside? Doesn't matter.
Interesting question. I like a variety, and I'm like that in a lot of forms of life. I like a bit of variety. I like to, if I've done one thing, I'm like it when I walk the dog. If I've done one route, the next time I do it, I'll do a different route. Can't be doing the same thing all
one
the time.
day, double decker the next. Never get the same chocolate bar twice.
Exactly.
So my dad always used to say.
I'll go back until you've done all of them, then you can loop back round.
Yeah.
Exactly,
oh yeah, exactly. I like looping back round. It's fine to revisit things which are familiar, but just don't get into too much of a routine. That's what I like to do.
Variety is good. That's what my dad always used to say.
Right, variety is it's good. It's good. It's great. Yeah, it's good. I don't know what the end of that saying is, but yeah, I think when it's getting to like spring, summer, it's nice to do some in the daylight because it feels a little bit special.
Yeah, it's a little treat.
Yeah.
And
but
then
for the most part,
come the longest days of the year, you've had enough of the sun. A little bit of dark, if you don't mind.
Yeah, that's what I feel.
Yeah.
I feel like I want the lighter evenings now. Though I've got to a point.
I'm ready for that. I'm ready for them.
I feel like I'm getting a little treat now because now things have come along a little bit. It's not quite dark when it's getting there, but it's not quite like full on nighttime when I finish work. So if you run out the door immediately, you just catch the dying embers.
It feels like the day is ending because of you. So he's out.
Yeah,
going in.
Yeah, well, Andy's done the work day. Let's wrap it up, shall we?
Wrap it up, yeah.
Sounds about right.
Cool.
So,
horror news.
Yeah, what's in the news, Ben?
Horror news. So,
Nope trailer, which we've just
there we go. Yeah,
sorry, just jump right in there.
The Nope trailer, Jordan Peele's new movie. The trailer dropped just the weekend just gone. We just done a reaction to that. It's going to be on Patreon pretty much immediately, I think, and then it'll be available.
I think I've realized why the name isn't striking me as much as it maybe was intended to. It's because I feel like Leslie Knope, the character in Parks and Rec, is one of the best character names ever. And you know that poster, it's kind of a riff off the Yes We Can poster, but it's Leslie, it just says Nope. I think that's like the perfect image. So
as Leslie Knope, famously, really nice lady.
Yeah.
Kind of taken that word away from horror for you.
Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
I think that's definitely what it is.
It seems like a concept title that maybe would have worked a few years ago, but now it feels a bit. And I think, as we mentioned on reaction, maybe it's maybe that's the point. Who knows?
Do you think they went to Jordan Peele and were like, "We've got like 10 titles. Yes, get in. Boston. That was
back in the net.
90s.
Boston, have
it. Power Pods, Football Crazy, Chocolate Mad.
Shan't.
Or Nope.
Titanus.
Titanus.
Yeah.
Zordon.
all of those possible names, and he goes, "Look, can you be forced to make a decision right now?" He went, "Nope," and they went, "Okay."
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
then someone turned away, walked away.
Poster's already done. Yeah.
We mentioned as well that the Jordan Peele titles of his movies are really good because they give next to nothing away. You know, it could be about pretty much anything. Attach anything to that, and it could make sense. So yeah, that's good. That's unique. I like it. It looks exciting.
Another trailer came out, which I have to say, although the no trailer was very good, and you have to see our reaction to it to get a proper gauge on how we felt about it. But this other trailer that really kind of blew me away was by a certain Sam Raimi.
Yes,
the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, and if we're talking about horror, there are obviously horror elements in that. Obviously, we've got a famous horror director as well. I mean, I'm sure it's not going to go full horror, but there might be little
at the end though. There's like a little. It looks like Evil Ash, but like Evil Strange.
Yeah, there's some.
Yeah,
There's definitely some zombie. Some zombie action. They're talking about maybe there's a visit to the Marvel Zombies universe in there. There's some bad extra dimensional beings around.
It's got Strange from the What If episode. I think it must be the same one, right?
It must be, or I don't know, because kind of that bad Strange is sort of redeemed at the end. Like spoilers for slightly What If in an obscure way, right? But he I mean kind of comes good. Team up at the end, or maybe he eats our Strange. I don't know, spoiling all of What If now. But it looks really good. I have no idea what's going to go on in it. But there's that like cool little head nod to a certain character by a certain character.
Yeah, I mean, it's just exciting. The way the Marvel universe is expanding is always great. It's not gone in a direction yet where I'm like, oh, not so sure. It always goes in ways where I'm like, yeah, bring it on. Let's let's have a bit of that.
Even when you think, I don't know if that's going to work. It does it does work quite often.
They're doing good work out there, but I think, as I mentioned to you guys on Twitter or whatever, like that people I really feel sorry for at this time is people who have websites that have like MCU watching orders. Imagine their lives right now. It's going to be difficult.
So complicated.
Yeah, it's all over the bloody place.
Just finished plugging a ton of Spider-Man movies in. What next?
There's another trailer. What a week for trailers. I haven't actually seen this trailer yet, but I will. It is the remake of Stephen King's Firestarter, which is on its way from Blumhouse Universal, directed by Keith Thomas.
See this, and it looks weird.
It's got Zac Efron in it, and I don't know who plays the Drew Barrymore role.
Stephen King himself.
No, Stephen
King and Zac Efron are double.
Stephen King in mocap, and they've just made him look like a little girl. So yeah, this is one of the Stephen King movies that probably goes under the radar a bit, doesn't get talked about as much alongside his other.
I don't think I've seen the original.
Stories. I'm pretty sure I have. Maybe
but it's pretty much like an evil X-Men sort of story, right? The trailer for this, I don't know if the trailer is just kind of mistook like the tone of it. It doesn't feel very horror-y, although it's got horror elements. It's reminding me tonally of what's that X-Men film that came out that's kind of meant to be horror-y.
Oh, the New Mutants.
It kind of gave me those kind of vibes.
Okay.
Whether that's right, I'm not too sure. Maybe they put the wrong music on there or something. I don't know.
What music did they put on there?
Whoops.
Oh, bloody hell. Hey, have you put the wrong music on this trailer?
Just the Magic Roundabout theme, but in a sharp key.
It was that one that was that like fish advert. I shall have a fishy on a little dishy. Is that
when
one?
The boat comes in.
When the boat comes in.
Running for a psychic pair.
I generally don't know whether you're joking or not. I honestly don't.
It's that song, but like it's done really cool. Like
okay, I shall have
Brown's thrown in.
Yeah, the entire New Mutant soundtrack is just ad jingles. Like if you notice the final scene of the movie, so they fight the demon. Spoilers for New Mutants. They fight the psychic demon bear. they finish it off, and then Anna Taylor-Joy, her mutant character Magic, just turns to the camera and says, "I'd rather have a bowl of cocoa pops, winks," and it ends.
I've forgotten that film. That also could be true. I
didn't see it.
Pretty much
there is a massive bear. It's not as bad as people give it stick for. It's not great. It's fine. It is a film that came out having been massively delayed at a time that clearly a negotiation to sell the property and eliminate any follow-ups had taken place. So that's what you got. But there are some good things in it, and there are some good casting bits. But I think it was an incredibly difficult. Some of the comics they wanted to include were incredibly difficult to adapt. You could do a good New Mutants horror film. The idea in itself at its heart is good.
It just felt like it never fully committed to one tone or another, did it? It sort of went, we're kind of a bit like a horror film, a bit like an edgy teen thriller, but also we're not going to fully commit to anything. So it's really difficult to sort of understand what they were going for.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there we go. One more, another piece of news. Apparently there's going to be an I Am Legend, either a new film or series. Apparently Warner Brothers are developing it. I don't know where this news has come from. Obviously they don't want to commit to, is it a film? Who knows? Is it a series? Maybe. Wink, wink.
I didn't realize how successful the Will Smith one was. It was like one of the biggest movies ever made.
600 million global box office.
Yeah.
People love a Will Smith. People love a dog.
I love a Will Smith movie, to be honest.
People love a hint to a Batman Superman movie, and then all their dreams came true years later.
Yeah.
And no one was disappointed at all.
No. I do like the I Am Legend movie. I return to it a lot. It's very, very different to the book, which I would say is superior. But I think it gets a lot right. The vampires are a bit CGI heavy, bit wobbly.
They look like the ones from Days Gone. Whatever they call them, freakers.
Freakers. They do. Yeah, they do.
I don't like it that he has an entire video shop, but just watches Shrek 2 every day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fuck that. Jesus Christ. Can you imagine? I can't imagine. I suppose he can do what he wants. That's the thing. That's the nice thing.
Do you reckon he watched the Shrek 2 on like the first? Oh, maybe he watched Shrek 2, but on that day, all the copies of Shrek 3 and Shrek the Halls and everything were all rented out to people, so they'll never be returned
Shrek
once society's collapsed. So he could never complete the franchise.
Yeah. It's also a Puss in Boots film. I've not seen the director's cut of I Am Legend. Apparently that's a bit more in keeping with the book. At the end he yells, "I am legend."
I am legend.
And then he gets the power of Grayskull.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Amiga Man?
Amiga 64 man.
the Atari ST man.
Who's that? Who's that in that? Is it
Charlton Heston?
Charlton Heston, yeah. So it's a very, very weird version of it. I mean, I Am Legend is a weird version of the book, I guess, but this is a very, very weird version of it. I remember being all right though. It seems to capture that sort of post-apocalyptic vibe pretty well.
Yeah,
that was one thing that bothered me about the vampires in I Am Legend were very much like monsters, whereas in the book they were
full-on vampires, weren't they?
Full-on vampires and people, and they used to come to
like wave on the door and like knock on from coming out to play and stuff.
Out to play, and the women vampires would like reveal their bodies and stuff and say, "Come out, have a go on this," and he'd be like,
"Watching Shrek 2. Jesus Christ, a bit of shush, please.
Come on out, we got a lovely bit of fried halloumi out here. Do you want a bit of that?" Like salivating loads, going,
stomach's bubbling.
Oh, I do want a bit of that. But as soon as he steps out,
it's gone cold and it's squeaky. Oh, there's that scene in that with the dog as well.
Yeah.
Not the movie, the dog scene in the movie, but also the dog scene in the book, which was like horrendously depressing.
No, I can't. That's one of the things. Like, I can't get on board with it. It's why I marked down the remake of Amityville last week. It's like, can't kill a dog, especially if the dog is the main character, as he is in Amityville Horror.
I mean, spoilers for I Am Legend, but when it reveals that the dog Sam is a girl, because it's been calling it Sam the whole time, and you're like, oh yeah, and then he calls her Samantha. 4 names her.
Yeah.
Who knew? So I like that. Nice little touch. And the only other piece of news, some sad news, is that Ivan Reitman, director of Ghostbusters, passed away this week, age 75.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's sad. Glad he got to see Ghostbusters Afterlife, which was obviously directed by his son. So that's lovely. But rest in peace, Ivan Reitman.
I think we lost one of the stars of this week's movie this week as well. I don't have the name in front of me, but I think one of the major characters from the original. Spoilers for this episode if you've just played this blind and not read the title, My Bloody Valentine. We lost one of the stars of that in the last week or so.
Correct. Paul Kelman died this week, age 72. So he's essentially the boyfriend who comes back. So who's the supernatural guy? What's his name from the remake?
Harry Warden.
Yeah, this is Sam. The character is the character's name.
Oh yeah, yeah. So essentially, the guy
full
from
name in might be Samantha, like the dog, but no.
The guy
Samuel.
from My Bloody Valentine, who is wearing a lovely cravat in the original. Did you notice that lovely blue cravat? Is he a cripper of blood? What film was this? That's the guy. That's the guy who died this week. So, Tom T.J. Hanniger, one of the leading.
He was the guy who returned after 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where have you been for 10 years? Oh, been about.
Wow, the picture of him.
He's been trying it out on the West Coast, right? And it hasn't gone well.
He's got like a huge beard in this picture.
Oh.
Like ZZ Top style.
Oh. Exciting.
I think you don't realize it. Like this film, 1981. That's like early slasher films, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, has anybody seen anything this week?
What have I seen?
What have I seen? Okay, I'll go if no one. I saw Jackass Forever this week.
I want to watch it.
Yeah, it was lovely. You know, it was a good laugh. Watching it in the cinema with loads of other people was fun. Probably the only time you do go to the cinema that you don't mind people belly laughing and whooping in delight. I'll let people off for that.
A bit of Jackass. Shush! I'm trying to hear what Johnny Knoxville's going to say.
Shut up! I'm trying to listen.
Oh, welcome to Jackass. I could have guessed who's going to say that.
But yeah, that camaraderie is still there. The like stupidity, and clearly they've still got the balls, figurative and
they're still there
to do some of the things they do, and like it's hilarious, but it's disgusting. And there were a lot of like had to kind of look away moments as well. It wasn't like hugely, like how the films, the intros felt more and more cinematic, and like some of the stunts were like so huge that you're like, okay, there's a lot of money behind this.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like that with this one. It felt like they kind of maybe gone back to basics a bit. There's a couple of like celebrity cameos as well. Eric Andre's in it. Machine Gun Kelly getting backhanded by a giant hand. Lovely. So yeah, I recommend
if it seems so. We're gonna watch it with some friends on Friday who are kind of used to watch the originals with, and everyone at school around that age is kind of trying to do their own stupid video stunts and stuff.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to. It'll feel like, I don't know, a nice.
Yeah, I mean it's strange because obviously they make out that the last movie in Jackass 3, it was 10 years since like the original TV show aired, and now it's another 10 years again since Jackass 3. So it's like 20 years, and they do a lot of throwbacks, like with some stunts that are recreating old stunts they did with the same people doing them. But yeah, there are a few particular stunts. I mean, I won't ruin anything, but there's a few which I was just like, that is absolutely insane. And there's like
my favorite ones are the silly ones. There's one where someone brings some soup into this room and like a giant hand like slaps the soup out. So stupid, but
yeah, I love
really
that too.
Or the tiny note on the wall. I think it's in the second or third one. And the Ryan gets smaller and smaller, and like a fist comes through the wall into it.
Whenever I tell anyone about Jackass, I always use those two exact examples. Just
so stupid.
To explain what the program is.
Yeah. It's just like people get hit in the face and stuff. Yeah, so I saw that, and I also saw the movie Boiling Point with Stephen Graham. It's set in a London restaurant. It's like one continuous shot, which blows my mind, blows my tiny mind. You know how that could happen. And it's kind of like a tense drama. It's more like a drama than a thriller, I would say. It's not like massive things happening in it, but still really well made. And Stephen Graham is great at walking the line of like being an absolute possible horrible bastard and like a lovable rogue. I'm like never sure
which side of that line is he going to fall on.
Yeah, it's always like that. So yeah, recommend that. That was pretty cool.
Cool.
That's it for me.
I watched Licorice Pizza, which is the Paul Thomas Anderson film.
Yes.
Have you seen it?
Red licorice or black licorice?
I've seen it. Yes.
It's neither actually. I don't think there's any licorice or pizza in it.
No licorice or pizza. No, it's just two random words, isn't it?
Disappointed. RuPaul's Drag Race all over again. Weren't they really racing across America in those fabulous dresses? Anyway, that's another story.
For that feels like when I think of like Paul Thomas Anderson movies, I always feel like that. Like he never gives you kind of what you think you're gonna get with the film, and I'm always like a little bit like I don't know how I feel about that. But this one was kind of instantly likable, I think, because the lead characters were just so like charming in a way.
Do you know who the lead character is?
Hain, isn't it the band Hain? Or they all play one character. It's Philip Seymour Hoffman's son.
Yeah, so I was like, he reminds me of Philip Seymour Hoffman. I genuinely had no idea it was him, his son. And I was like, he reminds me so much of Philip Seymour Hoffman.
There's so much running in that film as well, in like jeans and shirts.
And Alana Haim is like amazing, considering this is like her first.
I don't understand. Like she's like ludicrously talented. Like, I don't understand how you can be that good at acting. Like, you're not allowed to be.
Some talent for the rest of us. Yeah, there's a questionable central relationship where you're like, does there really have to be an age gap for me to not feel awkward about it? I don't know.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I thought it was amazing.
And there's one scene. I won't spoil it. Well, Bradley Cooper's in it. He's amazing in it. But there's one scene where they're driving a van in reverse with no petrol. And it was like the tensest scene I think I've ever seen.
Because I just kept thinking how hard it is to like reverse around a corner at speed.
Yeah, with like the engine's not even on, so it's just like under
no assistance at all, just moving along.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get on and watch it. It's on my ever growing list.
Yeah, it's good. I also watched obviously the two My Bloody Valentine movies, but also been watching more. This could be quite prevalent. A bit more Supernatural, starring a certain Jensen Ackles, who obviously was. Go on.
They've confirmed the prequel series as well now, right?
The Winchesters. Yes, like some
just natural.
I don't know if they need to do that.
It's bloody natural, mate, isn't it? Yeah.
Preternatural.
Just about him growing up, having a normal time. One of these days. Read this book. You might be useful if you ever encounter a ghost. Shan't, mate.
So is
never gonna happen.
So is their
Jeffrey
dad?
Ackles.
Is Jeffrey Dean? Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Is Jeffrey Dean Morgan in it, but like playing himself while younger? Is that right?
That's weird because he's older now than he was when he was in it before.
Hang on a minute.
They're gonna de-age him with science. They're gonna Luke Skywalker him. Also
confused to his voice.
Book of Boba Fett as well. I finished watching, which was
oh my god, I need to finish that. Whew.
I don't know if it was just because I was quite drunk at the time when I watched it, but I really, really liked the ending. I really liked the last episode.
I've seen some
like the kid at the end of Never Ending Story.
Fuck yeah!
I was. I think it must have been the wine.
Yeah. Your poor dog just riding around on a vet.
Oh yeah.
Chase those bullies into a bin, Alaska. Go.
That would work actually with Alaska's fluffy coat.
Yeah. It was cool. It was just an awesome.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's a good time to be a Star Wars fan.
Because there's endless Star Wars. The new Star Wars every day.
There's literally more Star Wars next month, right? Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan.
No, it's May. Oh, it's May. Sorry.
May the 4th, I'm going to guess, is when that's coming out.
It's not.
Probably.
It's the anniversary of
May.
of a film release. It's like
You
the end of May.
idiots, Disney.
It's May the 25th. Yeah. Sorry, we should release it on May the 4th. Oh, shut up, you geek. Shut up, you bloody nerd.
Is that Mickey Mouse talking?
Yeah. That's how he laughs after he's slagged you off. That's all I can do in his voice. I can't do any of the things you might say to you. Yeah, anything else apart from all the Star Wars? Or just some of the Star Wars?
I've been playing a game. I've not finished it yet, so maybe I won't talk about it yet. It's called The Artful Escape.
Oh, nice.
What's that on?
Yeah.
It's about Star Wars.
It's about Star Wars. It kind of is in a way.
Oh.
So it's we'll talk about it. It's an Annapurna interactive game. It's a small indie game. It's Alaska's on one now. Talking about Boba Fett, she gets excited.
Chasing them bullies.
She must have heard her name. She must have gone over. You're saying about me.
The premise is that you're like the son of a famous folk singer-songwriter, but you don't want to play folk songs. Not really. You want to play like Space Odyssey, electric guitar, crazy Bill and Ted style music.
Okay.
And then as you go to bed, like this alien comes to you and says the support act of this galaxy thing has dropped out, so we need you to come and play. And then you go on, it's like the most amazing, visually spectacular rhythm, like crazy solo guitar game ever. But there isn't much to the gameplay. Like you literally just press from right and square, and he just like plays guitar. But it's like visually, it's amazing, and like the sound is incredible. It's called The Artful Escape. Images don't really quite capture how amazing it is, because as you play, the environment around you kind of lights up and moves around you.
I will add that to my list right now.
Really funny as well. It's got Mark Strong, Lena Headey, like quite big
really
vocal talents.
as well, then.
Yeah.
Amazing. How about you, Andy? Have you watched anything this week of note?
Yeah, I have been obviously the films of the week I have watched in preparation for this, and also I have begun to make a start on some films, making sure we don't fall foul of any embargoes. I am allegedly watching some films that we may be covering for a unnamed event that is coming up in the future weeks. Allegedly, possibly.
Broken the embargo. Now we know.
Hang on a minute.
Now we know that it's not the past. Yeah, so
we are cutting all ties with Andy Condivaturda on this podcast moving forward after
like
it does
not speak for us. We're potentially covering a film festival coming up, and there are some great new films that are coming up in it. So some marketing folks have been kind enough to share some screeners with us, so we'll be covering them a little close to the time, but it does mean got to put the hours in and watch some of them. So I've started those, and I've continued to watch Chucky. It's dead good.
Yeah, the TV show.
Yeah, I've got about 2 episodes left, I think, but at this point now, I'm not going to spoil it in case you guys watch it, but what it's become evident is everything I've said about it before. The power of this whole series, having watched all the films recently, having that single writer and that single creator that's clearly driven this all the way through. Effectively, this is a series now that has carried on directly from the movies that have come out, and it's still got that same hand in it, and it's all tying together very nicely, and it's just a lot of fun. Like, I think it's a perfect example of taking something that was a standalone film thing, and it works really well as a series. And I think a second series has already been greenlit, so I'm looking forward to getting to the end of this and then moving, waiting for some more to come along. And it's what it's done very well is the development of the characters has been phenomenal. There is a character early in the thing that you absolutely hate, like literally is the worst. Cannot wait for that person to get got by Chucky, and they've turned it around. That person is kind of a goodie now.
Serious 180.
Sick.
Sick. That's cool. Yeah, it's definitely on the list. I need to get around to it. I need to finish Boba Fett. I want to do.
Yeah, his bookends.
I want to see how his bookends. I want to watch Peacemaker as well. I need to get around to that.
Yeah.
When do we get it over here though? It's not. Is it out here yet?
Yeah, good point actually.
Is it
really
Hulu? Is Hulu the one we don't get here?
Who?
Yeah, I think either way, it's on something that we don't get, and I think it'll be something, and then we don't know what it will come out on yet. Probably something that none of us subscribe to. Like, I'm not having another one. I have to wait.
Yeah. Too many in there. Too bloody many. It's got to a point now where like there are things I'm subscribed to. I'm like, when did I subscribe to that? Just subscribe to things and completely forget about them. It's not a good way to live.
Yeah, I think I've pared down now. I think I've only got Prime, Disney, Netflix, Arrow Player, Shudder. I think I've only got 3.
PlayStation Plus, Switch Online, Xbox Live. Yeah.
God.
We're pretty much down to the basics now, I think.
Yeah.
How much entertainment do you need? I need it all.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, isn't it? It's like, I don't need them all, but there will be things on each that I want to see. Like at some point. It's like kind of take it in turns of them. You can't have them all going at the same time.
I'm going to start a service. I'm going to subscribe to everything. And then I'll offer some sort of catalog. And if people want to watch certain movies, they have to pay me a few quid to
so you
watch
just
it.
get a subscription to Luke.
Yeah.
It's like cable TV. It's like gone full circle.
Yep.
Now.
Pay-per-view. Pay-per eyeball as well, my service. You want to watch it with both eyeballs? £2.
That being said, that's a real horror situation. Have you? I forget, and I'm refusing to think of the name of the brand.
Paper Peeper.
Paper Peeper. No, the one that's there is some platform that is looking to give you credit to watch films on its service as opposed to going to the cinema. You can watch films on its service, and you can get credits to do it.
You get paid to watch stuff.
If you watch the ad, you can pay, but you can get credits to watch it if you watch enough of their adverts. And apparently they want to engage eye tracking technology to make sure you're absolutely paying attention.
Wow, that's Black Mirror.
The adverts.
You can just lazy eye. Yeah. Also, just wear those glasses that have eyes on them.
Yeah,
they can't. They'll never realize.
Well, those ones that like hang down like that. Hang on a minute. What's he even looking at? His own knob.
Either that or like, if they're watching you, you could make sure that while you're watching the advert, you're doing this and like giving them the finger the whole time and say, yeah, I'm actively engaging with your product, but I am disliking it.
I'm definitely a fan of looking away from some adverts. Right, I refuse to give them eyeball time. I mean, if it's got to happen, like if I'm in the cinema or, you know, it's an unskippable ad, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen, but I'm not going to actually look at it.
Yeah. I make a note of that as a product not to buy or support. And then look up their competitors to see what I get. What's that? All right, I'll see if another brand of crumpets is available. Thanks.
Crumpet brands. It's good. Not as doesn't soak up the butter well enough, unfortunately.
Supermarkets.
The holes are too small on that one.
Holes are bloody tidy. Is that it? Is that it?
That's it.
That's it. Yeah. Film of the week. Film sir of the week.
Yes.
A nice little pairing this time, I think.
Yeah,
they went together quite well.
Very nice combo. So we're going to do the same sort of thing as we did last week with the Amityville Horror, where essentially we are talking about the original of this week's movie, but we are going to discuss the remake as well, and kind of like just bring in certain parts from the remake as and when. And it's a Valentine's Day special. Sure, we know Valentine's Day has been and gone, but it's Valentine's week, so that kind of counts, right?
Yeah. I mean, I guess we could have recorded early and released an episode on Valentine's Day, but life's hard, you know?
It is.
Yeah. That's right. Post Valentine's Day as well. Everyone's sick of it. Everyone's had enough. You know, what's that? Oh,
and to be fair, if you're so desperate that you want to hear us talk about a horror movie on Valentine's Day, then I mean, real life horrors, I guess. Sorry, the world is quite so lonely, but we're here now.
We're here now. It's all right, yeah. So the movies of the week. So one of them is My Bloody Valentine, which is a 1981 Canadian slasher film directed by George Mihalka and written by John Beaird, but there's a random rogue eye in there, John Beard. It stars Paul. It's the Beaird. I don't know. It stars Paul Kelman, Laurie Hallier, and Neil Affleck. Related to Ben Affleck? Do we know? Probably not. So the plot is of the 1981 original. It is a decades old folktale surrounding a deranged murderer killing those who celebrated Valentine's Day. Turns out to be a true legend when a group defies the killer's order and people start turning up dead.
Yeah.
So this takes place in a town called Valentine's what?
Valentine's Bluff. Is it?
Yeah. Initially, I was like, this town loves Valentine's Day to a ridiculous degree, and it was only then I realized, oh wait, the town's called Valentine's Bluff.
That kind of makes sense. In the remake, is it called Valentine's Bluff? In the remake, they don't seem to be as crazy about Valentine's Day.
No, Valentine's Day is not. Yeah, even like the actual act of the killer giving Valentines to people doesn't happen all that much in
just
the
one
remake.
time.
He gives up on the rhyming about halfway through. Early doors, he's making some great rhymes. He's like, roses are red, infinite is pi, piss off with the Valentines or I'll make you all die. And then
that's quite good.
That was good. Almost too good. Are you the killer, Andy?
Yeah, sorry. No, do you think I would give up on a bit? Certainly not. I'd have been rhyming all the way to the end.
Amazing. Yeah. Have you guys seen this before? Have you seen either of them before? So obviously,
no, and I really wanted to for a long time. So
I saw the remake at the cinema.
Oh wow! So it was right in the middle of the 3D boom, wasn't it?
Yeah. This is what's the film's called? By that company. I don't think this is Dark Castle, but it has that thing where it starts and there's like gears. Do you know what I mean? It's that ident.
Lionsgate.
Yeah, the Lionsgate gears.
It's like evil gears kind of like
it's like it reminds me of Saw. I think Saw is Lionsgate, isn't it?
That actually makes a lot of sense because at the end when like the killer was revealed, they tried to add on some like Saw kind of music, but it's like it just wasn't that clever.
Live and let die.
Live and let die again.
Yeah. In terms of reviews, it's fair to middling. 58% Rotten Tomatoes, critics 52 user score, 6.3 out of 10 on IMDb. Letterboxd 3.3 out of 5. Riley Hogan said the drier body find is the best body find in any slasher. They gave it 5 stars. And then Jackson put, bro, this was so bad. Why did no one warn me to not waste my time on this bin bag? Half a star. They call it
bin bag. That's a bloody bin bag, that is.
But I mean, so just curiously, of the remake and the original, which did you prefer?
Bloody hell! I think I preferred the original. The remake, I can see it's got a certain charm based on the 3D stuff, and it's got what's his name in it as well? Paul. What's his name? Superb Natural guy, Jensen Ackles. But it's also got Tom Atkins. Tom Atkins. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
this is jaw whopped off.
Yeah, and like the kills are super brutal and over the top. I think the story of, I was more invested in the story of the original.
Yeah, I think the thing is the original, the mines were kind of scary because mines are scary places, and it's a great place to have a slasher, and like having a mine in that getup is a really cool idea for slasher.
I think the slasher.
But they look like studio sets very much in the remake.
The slasher outfit is a great one. I found in the remake that I was less on the killer's side because quite a lot of the people in this original are dead annoying. I want them to die. But
wait for him to die.
Cannot wait for that Joker to get done in.
Yeah. Also, the twist is not it's just like an extra bit of the story, whereas the twist in the remake is like the whole point of the story.
I think the twist in the first one is just a thing that happens. I don't think there's any clues that it happens, because then you get an explanation as to who he is. He's like, oh yeah, he's that guy. Yeah, he didn't mention that. That's why he's the killer. In many ways, a lot of the good things about the remake cannot exist without the old original set in your expectations, which I think this is why they serve so well as a double bill. We'll come into the narratives in time, but I found it really interesting that the killer, even though the characters are, there's a lot of parallels in the characters. I like the time shift that they had here. So those people who were adults playing teenagers in the original are adults playing adults in the remake. And
yeah,
I kind of liked what they did narratively with flipping it on its head. And I also kind of liked how even the goodies aren't necessarily good in the remake. So I might prefer it a little bit, but it's because it builds on the original.
The way the
Yeah.
remake kind of starts is almost like it's starting with what is the finale in the original, which is the killer stalking everybody. And I was so confused that I thought I'd accidentally like leant on the controller and like skipped ahead.
It's the end.
I was like, is this the end? What's going on?
This is Memento. He's going to turn and say, "You're probably wondering how I got here."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Do you think that the remake started out quite bloody? I know it did that, the ending bit straight away as the intro, but then I just didn't expect the killings to be starting out so frequently, but they were kind of non-stop in the remake.
Yeah. In the
Body
remake,
cam was insane.
There's like the guy just wakes up in the hospital, and then when the police come 2 minutes later, there's people everywhere.
Yeah, there's a half nurse. I guess he might have been half nurse before, but like someone been snapped in half.
Yeah, and he's just woke up from a coma. You think he'd still feel a bit weak, but he's snapping people in half straight away. He's
like a proper Jason character, or he comes across that way.
Yeah, and I think that's where the whole aesthetic of the costume works so well. There's like an almost like an inhuman element about it, and because it's a costume that covers every inch of a person, there's a really great faceless element to it that works really well and is really scary.
Yeah, and the light kind of shining in victims' faces as well is pretty affecting.
Yeah. In the original, so I don't know what film this actually is, but like when there's no killings happening, it's like shot with like a 32mm film or something. And then as soon as a killer's about to kill someone, it's changed to like a 16mm or 8mm. So the exposure goes really weird.
Okay.
Like every single time it's swapped and like became really. It looks super strange.
That's interesting.
I mean, it's definitely on purpose, but it was a really interesting like visual take.
Okay, so. In terms of the cast of the first movie, it's mainly like a group of teenagers / minors. They're all supposed to be a similar age, aren't they? Because they're all kind of like going out with each other. All the guys who are mining during the day, in the evening, and meeting up with their squeezes.
Yeah, meeting up with their main squeezes down at the youth centre.
Down at the youth centre.
Like the sheriff comes in and goes, "Oh, you kids who primarily all work in the fucking mine, coal mine.
You kids are never doing it. We just done an 8-hour shift on the mine. Let's do what we want. Come back and have a lovely beer. God, can't do anything.
Have a cream soda because you're only 14.
Yeah. And the only one who hasn't got a significant other is T.J. Hanniger, played by Paul Kelman, who we mentioned earlier. Who comes back to the town of Valentine's Bluff after a prolonged period of time away. The timeline of this is a bit confusing because obviously we're supposed to believe that the killings with the minor serial killer known as Harry, what's his name?
Yeah, Harry
Warden.
Harry
Warden happened 20 years prior to the events of this movie, right? And we do get like a initial scene where we see it's like a kinky miner.
Yeah, so that's the opening scene. Like it's a woman who has handy if you're planning to murder her. She has like a target as to where her heart is tattooed on her chest. They are down, as is customary in these slasher movies, with a lovely bit of mineshaft sex. And she loves groping a hose. She loves having a light in the eyes. but she quickly doesn't love it.
She goes to take off his mask and he goes, "No, leave it on."
And then shoves her into a pickaxe that he's placed there. And it
Yeah.
pops
Surprise
out.
pickaxe.
I
Yeah.
mean, got her, but it's a shame he's trying to keep this murder a secret, because you'd think if you push someone back first onto a pickaxe, and you got them in such a way that the pickaxe came out through the tattoo of the heart on their chest, you'd be like, what are the odds? That's
Nailed it.
brilliant. I've
You'd
done
be like,
that.
"I got to bloody tell someone this. I got to tell someone something that happened. This is crazy. Am I magic?"
Yeah, you
No one would believe him anyway.
I know you're gonna arrest me for this, but look.
Mate, you gotta come and see what I just done. It's bloody mental. And they'll go, "It is. We'll let you off with a
It
warning."
is mental. Get him in jail.
Yeah, I'll let you off that murder, because that is a perfect. So that's a freebie.
10 out of 10.
Yeah,
10 out of
10s
10.
across the board.
yeah.
10s
But
across the board.
20 years on from all that, apparently the mine is just a place for absolute maximum horseplay now, because literally everyone is fucking about. Like, we begin years later after we've seen that murder in the past. It's like, well, don't worry, we've left the new guys down in the mine shaft so they can get used to it. We're just snapping towels and like wrestling and pushing each other in the showers.
In the shower, the water pressure's terrible as well. Someone's having a shower at one point under the weakest looking water dribble. And I was like, "You're covered in mining soot. You need something
Yeah.
far more. You need a certain pressure to wash it all off."
Yeah.
Mining soot.
Just rinse yourself off under a tap.
Just rinse yourself off, go out in the rain and have a shower. Bloody hell.
Nothing worse than that when you have, you stayed somewhere and there's poor water pressure. You've got to have a shower.
Oh yeah, it's horrible.
It's like
It's bloody horrible.
just sort of shrugging under a thing. You've got to try and stay warm by staying under a little drizzle of like single strand of water.
I feel really clean after that. So yeah, in this town of Valentine Bluffs, because of the name of the town, they're absolutely obsessed with Valentine's Day.
They are, and they haven't had one for 20 years.
Here's a piece of paper. Cut it into an art right now. Get it on the wall. Jesus.
Be sure, because Harry's going to be watching. If you do anything, even slightly Valentine's related, he's going to be livid.
Yeah. So there's a Valentine's Day dance planned, and we get a sequence where all the miners come out of the mine, jump into cars.
It's like a wacky races. Like one guy gets his trousers pulled out. It's like, just stop. Like, I can't. Like, I would not be able to stand working at this mine. And
You can't chill out. You literally
not-
can't chill out for a second.
Not because of the respiratory damage or like rust lung or whatever you get from working down the mine.
White finger.
It would just be because those guys are insufferable.
I
Just
didn't
stop
see-
pulling my trousers down and stop pushing me in the shower. Just give me a rest.
I quite liked that they were the characters were, they felt kind of real in a way. I mean, obviously they were kind of fake as hell because it's like a 80s slasher. But in terms of like compared to other slashers at that period, like the drama, it felt like they were at least trying to do Hollyoaks or some sort of teen drama kind of thing.
There's like a love triangle. There's a love triangle at the center, which feels believable. It feels legit. A few of the other characters are kind of like background characters. A few times they popped up, and I was like, "Wait a minute, who's that?"
That guy is the Joker. Like, not the criminal mastermind, the Joker, the one that's just like the Joker of the bunch in a very horseplay heavy group.
Absolutely.
This motherfucker.
Intolerable. What a twat.
Yeah.
Literally the worst. Like, he's not funny. He does this thing at one point where he drinks a drink for his nose, and I'm like,
Yeah.
shut up.
Well, no one else is doing it.
This would be the
no
guy.
one else is doing it.
This would be the guy that would die of misadventure. Like, I almost wish that he didn't get got by the murderer, but did some hey, what happens if I chainsaw my own head off? And he would probably do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a bit of a dickhead. There's obviously a classic older bloke in this, the one who's on your background, Andy, who's warning the group of the perils of not taking Harry Warden,
He's
the killer,
always
seriously.
saying you guys are gonna be killed. I'm telling you the truth.
I'd be like, you're
If
the number one suspect because you won't stop. You won't leave us alone.
I would. If I was him, I think I would fully justify him because it's not for a bit. Like it's a little bit later. It's after they do the flashback and he is telling a bar full of people why Harry doesn't want there to be any Valentines. He goes, "You guys are all going to die because you're making a Valentine's Day," and he specifically forbids it after he did all those murders.
Yeah, but it did happen, didn't it?
It really happened 20 years ago. People who lived in that town, including
people
this
like
calling
him like an idiot.
And he tells this really serious story about how this person, all these people died, and why he had his terrible revenge, and why he did it, and why he forbids Valentine's Day. And like at this point, I'm pretty sure there's already been there's been at the very least a warning that's come to the police, and he's going, "Look, don't do this, you'll all die." And he tells this story, and then it undercuts the seriousness of things because that Joker character just comes up and like goes.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, ha, 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 ha.
It's like talking to a bunch of orangutans. Jesus Christ.
The Joker character, I wanted to punch him. If I was saying something serious and someone just did that in my face, I'd go, I'm going to punch you in the face. You deserve it.
He does all of his
it.
Yeah, so his fart noise ruins everything. It undercuts all of his serious things. They all run off and goes, "You're all going to die, arseholes." And
he's one of those guys.
You're correct.
The Joker dude is one of those guys who likes being center of attention, but he's never got like anything ready to go. So he goes, "Well, everybody look at me."
Yeah.
Everybody look at me, and everyone looks at him, but he ain't got anything funny to do. So he goes, "Wankers," and they go, "He's such a laugh."
He just makes noises. That's not wit. He does deserve that punch. He does deserve to die. That guy's right.
I mean, and he had his bloody head off as well.
We had that on a work induction.
That was his best gag. Oh, he popped his head off. Classic.
We had a work induction for a retail job I had many years ago now.
Someone's head pop off.
No one's head popped off, but there was one of those characters, and it's probably, and this says more about me, I imagine, one of the happiest moments of my life. This is one of those characters. He was one of these jokers. He was doing like just japes and things like that, and he did like a gag, like it was just some poor woman who worked at a shop trying to teach us how to use a till, and he did like one of these jokes, and there was zero reaction, so he said it again, and someone was like, "I heard you."
I heard you, mate. I just didn't fucking laugh at it.
Yeah, never seen someone deflated so fast, and I think that probably sustained me for about a year. I was like,
it ruined his life. He never got over that. He still wakes up in the middle of the night and cringes about it.
He had a promising career in comedy ahead of him, and he went,
"Yeah,
just give up."
Yeah, or like I like it innuendo. Now. I like an innuendo. An innuendo is good. Innuendo.
When people say that, I just think,
for fuck's sake. But and I like an innuendo, but like there's a forced innuendo where there's like barely anything there, but somebody grasps onto it and goes like, "Oh, I'm gonna come where? All over me. Oh Jesus. Steady on, mate. Fucking hell."
Yeah.
Inappropriate.
Yes, the body was found having been stabbed several times and attacked with a claw hammer. Wait, that's what she said. No, don't at all. It's not appropriate in this situation.
Yeah.
Sorry. So basically that guy he deserves to die. I hate the fact he's there. I don't like the fact he's friends with everybody. I feel like they would have got shot of him ages ago.
He's not the character you want working with you in a dangerous environment like a mine.
Yeah, he gets lost
in the mine?
He does, yeah. He's like a bit of a newbie, I think. But also like he gets lost, he doesn't know where he is.
For somebody who works in a mine, it's like he's never stepped foot in a mine. I don't think I've stepped foot in a mine. I feel like I'd be better in a mine than he is. He like, "Where am I? Get a blanket around me." Oh no.
Yeah. Mines are like pitch black as well. Like so I always feel like the idea of running away from us like a slasher in the woods is like ridiculous. But people always say, "Oh, why did he always strip up?" If you've just like seen woods and bracken and stuff in the middle of the night, you would trip up. But like a mine, I think, would be even worse. They're not even normally head height. Like you normally have to like crawl through them.
You'd be bonking your head all the time. People bonk their head several times in these pair of movies.
Not a singular canary in either one of these movies either.
Yeah. Well, in the second one, there's something about that. Like the guy didn't check the gas, didn't give a sniff at the right time.
Yeah, if they'd had canaries,
stinks in here.
Everyone would be all right.
Yeah.
Careful, the methane is going to explode. Sorry.
Maybe if they'd had a sequel to this movie, maybe canaries could be his weakness.
Yeah,
that'd be good.
But yeah, so basically, all the horseplay guys come along. We're introduced to everyone's. This is the Hollyoaks moment. We get everyone's relationships and everything like that. One of the characters does like a. I feel like it's foreshadowing for the murders. One of them like picks up his girlfriend, does like a choke slam kiss. He kind of like picks her up by the head to kiss her.
That was very strange.
It's weird, isn't it?
It's like the biggest, like a massive bloke as well in a leather vest, in like a leather waistcoat. Sorry, I called it a leather vest.
A leather waistcoat.
A massive, huge man with massive hands, and I was like, he's a killer! For God's sake!
Picks his girlfriend up off a ladder.
Bloody Andre the Giant. He does. I'm like, oh God, that's terrifying. Can you imagine that?
Is that the girl who dies that way?
Yeah.
So it is the red-haired boyfriend.
I don't know if he was red hair. He kind of had
like
a. Yeah, it's the guy who went to get. It's the guy who went to get the beers later on, and he comes back and like sort of clinks the beers as if she's like a cat or something. Ding 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 ding! Got some beers.
Yeah, this is what they're doing the thing. The sheriff and everyone turn up and say, "You kids, several of whom work in the mine, you're gonna have such a lovely time, but just be sensible. Don't dance around with the decorations." The sheriff literally tells someone off for that. He says, "Dance around with that decoration," because this is my date. So, all right, fair enough.
This is your date. A paper silhouette of a cherub shooting a. What are they called? Those little dudes.
Yeah, little cherub.
Cupid. That's it, little Cupid. That's your date, is it? Are you fucking stupid?
Yeah.
Also, like,
he deserves this. Pipe. The sheriff and the mayor turn up with one of them's got a pipe on. It's like,
everyone in this town is either supposedly a teenager or absolutely ancient and still working. Like a woman working in a laundrette is about 90. The mayor is about 80, and then the sheriff is about 85. I think there's some other police officers who are a bit younger, but everyone is old. Or maybe because it's the 80s, they've looked old. You know, they're actually all very.
It's a mining community. They've all had hard lives.
Yeah.
All of their lungs are absolutely full of soot.
So
mining soot.
Mining soot.
And the water pressure isn't great, so they can't even get it off. They leave. The sheriff leaves, and he's been given. He's lovely box of chocolates here. What's the note say? And it says like roses are red.
Honestly, one person's dead, and now so are you. I think that's the first one.
Yeah, rose is red, violet's blue. One person's dead. Don't have Valentine's Day, or I'll kill loads more. All right. And there's a heart in there.
Yeah,
there's a heart in there, and he reacts like, "This can't be happening again!" Like really over the top. And then
the sheriff, like two sets murders in 20 years. It's not that bad.
And then the sheriff like stops the car and goes back the other way, and then a dog like just randomly attacks the car.
A random dog is chasing the car. What is it about movies from the 70s and 80s where there are dog characters who I feel there are additional scenes?
Yeah.
I'm like a dog. It's a dog chasing car. I'm like a dog chasing cars. Yeah, that was pretty good. That was my favorite part of the film, I think.
So more people are doing rhyming warnings in the pub. And then this is when they have the flashback. And you know what I liked about this flashback? There was literally a flashback harp. That when he started talking about it, there was like a...
Maybe because that's romantic. I don't know.
I imagine Cupids have harps. And they go back to it, and basically it explains how the OG minor killer that was
Harry Wardon,
Harry Wardon,
son of Zordon.
Son of Zordon, how he did his murders is because basically 20 years ago there was a Halloween disco planned in the town, and everyone was dead excited to get to the Halloween disco. So the bosses of the mine went, "Oh lads, I don't want to be late for the disco, I'm off." And then when they went off, they didn't check for gas down the mine very well. So the people who were still down there finishing their shift got exploded, and they were exploded down there, trapped for 6
The
weeks.
methane gas levels seem fine. Oh yeah, but everyone had beans for lunch. They'll be all right. Just send them down there.
I've got to get the disco. So they all ran off to the disco. And
Boogie in as they went.
Yeah, let's all have a disco.
They couldn't stop. They were just like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
They couldn't wait to get to the disco 20 years ago, so they were getting down there, and they left.
Oh yeah, they were.
There's an explosion. They were stuck down there for 6 weeks, and then when they finally dug them out, only one of the miners was alive, and he was chowing down on a leg.
Yeah,
they were there.
What?
And then
pretty much how you get a Wendigos, right? I'm surprised he
Yeah.
isn't a Wendigo.
Of all the times for him to be discovered as well, but because it took 6 weeks for them to find him, of all the times it was while he was chowing down on like a leg.
Really incriminating.
The very first bite.
Oh no!
Just finally gave in to resisting that temptation for 5 weeks and 6 days.
And they discover him and go, "Cannibal bastard!"
The thing is, that doesn't seem to be what they're most cross about, though. Or is that the remake when they said, "Oh, it turns out that they hadn't died, they got bashed because he got them to conserve his air."
So in the remake, the similar sort of story, but rather than cannibalism, I think they try and make out that he killed everybody else trapped in there with him to conserve air. I don't know what he was eating. He had a little pack of custard creams.
Had some Kent cake.
Packet of mints. Oh, I'm absolutely starving. Do you know what I could eat? An extra strong mints. Really, it's a spot.
Got a ration and just lick it like.
Wrigley's.
Okay.
You just say Wrigley's. You said Wrigley's really quietly.
one chew.
You just
One
went,
chew to save conserve flavour.
You just. Is that for today?
Imagine being trapped in a mine and having a load of hubba bubba. Only like 2 chews and the flavour's gone. Jesus.
Yeah.
To be fair though, if you've been there for weeks, but you had perfectly fresh breath, people will be like, "Bloody hell, you had a whale of a time in there." I did. It was lovely, actually. Now give us a kiss. I will. Oh.
On Valentine's Day as well. Oh, the thing is, you'd be gutted though, because everyone's obviously going to have coupled up on Valentine's Day. You're 6 weeks later.
Yeah.
So
he had enough of it. He came out, went to a mental institution for a while, and then came out and saw fit to it there'd be no more Valentine's Day things. He got the bosses that left him down in the mine, smashed them up,
cut out their hearts, placed them in Valentine's candy boxes. That's what he did, right? And gave them to someone and said, "Don't ever do a Valentine's Day dance ever again, or I'll come back and I'll be even more fuming."
I'm going to put this out there, guys, not to side with the killer here. I think it's a perfectly reasonable demand.
I ate a human arse
because
of what happened.
Out of respect for that time that I got exploded, made into a cannibal and insane.
Yeah.
Please, I mean, okay, could have gone about it a different way. Not methods, but
my life is over. All I needed you to do was look at a little level of the methane gas and say, "Oh, it's a bit dangerous." But no, you're too busy at your dance drinking Panda Pop and eating flumps to even think about me. It was in a bloody mine, in a fart mine.
So we Panda Pops and flumps on this podcast.
They're the foods we go the foods for. I will say other buffet foods are available, but maybe come on, the old lady that runs the laundrette's only going to do 3 types of sandwiches. I don't want to get left with just the plain cheese. I want to get there while there's still some tuna.
Old lady running the laundrette. She bloody loves. Why is she in charge?
Why is like her favorite thing in the world Valentine's Day?
Old lady's
she's not even got a Valentine, is she?
I think at one point she thinks she's got a Valentine. She thinks it's the mayor. So I think her and the mayor have got a bit. Maybe they've got an arrangement. You know, they're both old.
Yeah,
And,
if
you know,
we're both single by the time we're 100, we'll couple up.
Yeah.
If we're both single by the time, we'll couple up, and I'll sell this laundrette. And who is she? Dot Cotton. Dot Cotton runs the laundrette, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But it's Mr.
Absolutely.
Papadopoulos who owns it.
Oh, okay. I see. I got you. Great knowledge.
He's never in it. Ghost character, like Mrs. Columbo.
She loves Valentine's Day to such a degree. Nobody has ever decorated for Valentine's Day as much as this person has. A heart on every single washing machine and dryer.
Yeah.
Some heart-shaped bunting hanging down. Oh,
I feel like this is really baiting the killer that forbade them to have I keep saying Halloween, a Valentine's Day party ever again.
I thought you did say Halloween earlier.
I've said it several. I've almost said it several times.
I was like, I don't know what I'm missing.
I realised that obviously my life has turned a certain corner. It was Luke's birthday the other day. Happy birthday, Luke.
Thank you.
And when I went to write a message to you that said happy birthday,
Happy Halloween.
It was Halloween that my phone suggested, not birthday. Like,
not happy Halloween birthday, Luke. Yeah.
But yeah, so she loves Valentine's Day and is, I would say, baiting the killer that just said, all I ask is that you don't celebrate Valentine's Day. Have your Easter.
But she thinks he's
Easter bonnets for days.
She thinks he's in the mental asylum, right? She has no idea Harry Warden's back.
To be fair, if someone 20 years ago done a load of murders and they're in a mental asylum, you wouldn't give it a second thought. You'd just be like,
yeah.
Oh,
she's like putting bunting up on the lamppost outside. Like the entire street is decorated, right?
But imagine I know it sounds silly because Christmas is a thing and Halloween is a thing, but one day after Valentine's Day, you got to take all that down.
Yeah.
Just what a task for somebody.
All on one. All the buntings just on one, like fishing rod. Just winds it in the day after.
They all come down, like in the mine later when all the laundry can be like yanked up and down. It's like that. So you can just hoist it out of sight.
I like that. The laundry thing was good.
Why though? Why is every bit of uniform on a different pulley system?
It's because it's mine.
In case someone needs to be spooked by it.
It's just so there's a person just stand underneath it, put their arms up, and Iron Man, he just falls on it.
They get dressed like the Centurions every day.
And what if you come in and you accidentally do the wrong one and you do it with some bloke who's 3 times smaller than you?
Yeah.
You get crammed into a tiny suit.
This is a bit tight. And the other one's in a big baggy one.
Yeah. There's 3 other children on one big tall set of mining things on each other's shoulders.
I don't understand. That can't be a real thing on the pulley system.
I don't know. I kind of thought, I don't know. My brain was going.
But it does in the remake as well. They were like, that's a great idea, that. Mining places where people get dressed are exactly like that.
That's what I'm going to do for now.
Put them on hooks.
I'm not going to do any wash. I'm not going to do any washing, right? That's the thing. It's not like they haven't got to do washing. There's a bloody laundromat around the corner, right? They can go there and get it all sorted. I'm not going to do any washing for now, and I'm just going to hang things up, put in the ceiling, out of sight, out of mind, and then when I need it, there we go.
I mean, maybe we don't know. We don't know, but maybe when you hoist the uniforms up, they go into the basement of the laundrette so you can wash them.
Yeah, that's where they're coming from.
Yeah, that would be good. Careful though, because the dryer is absolutely boiling, absolutely scalding hot. Don't be careful. Be careful with it. It'll melt the skin off your face.
I mean, I'd love a dryer that hot. Can you imagine? Oh, how fluffy your towels get. But so we've strayed from it. Not that that's like us, but so they have this flashback as to why this guy doesn't like Halloween. Halloween, fuck off. why he doesn't like Valentine's Day? He is, as far as I know, he has got no opinions for or against Halloween.
He hates Valentine's Day because he hates Valentine's Day because he's always getting confused with Halloween. It's too similar in his head. What kind of man?
Oh God, this is how I turn into the Valentine's Day killer just because I keep calling it Halloween. Like a rhyme as well, but Harry Warden he's against it. He's against Valentine's Day. He kills the people that got him trapped in the mine for 6 weeks and said, never have Valentine's Day again, otherwise I'll be back. That stark warning from the man behind me in my background here is completely ignored after he makes it. It looks, a couple of people make the face like they might
I
have
bet
to
he
take
does say it
seriously.
every year. But he says it every single year.
Oh no, they
and
haven't had
nothing
one.
happens.
They've listened to that warning for 20 years.
Okay.
They've not. This is the
Well,
first.
so for 20 years, he's been absolute life of the party. He's been loving life. He's such a positive, lovely man. But as soon as they start having a Valentine's dance, he's like, fuck's sake, someone's going to get murdered.
Yeah, and he's absolutely right. But unfortunately, any chance of his warning is not taken seriously, because as he finishes it, that guy appears from under the bar and goes, and it's like,
I bet he's the kind of guy who overeggs every warning for anything. Can't eat 6 bananas. It's gonna kill you.
Peter Andre almost died of that. He collapsed.
Is that true?
He did collapse once, but I imagine it was something unconnected to the number of bananas he eats.
He collapsed once. What happened to him? Who gives a fuck? Peter Andre.
Yeah, so maybe he is. Maybe he does over-egg everything. It's like, you sit close to the TV, your eyes will go square, and you will die. So maybe that guy, either that, or maybe that guy who does the fart noise is the most undermining person ever. Where were you in the late 30s when Hitler was rising to power, mate? If he'd given a speech and you turn up,
that guy is always wearing a different hat in like every scene as well. Like he's just one of those guys who hasn't got a personality, and he knows he hasn't got a personality, and he's like, I'm going to make stupid jokes. I'm going to make stupid jokes, and I'm going to change my hat every 45 minutes so people go,
he heard that,
hey, he's wacky.
Yeah.
If he heard that, I hope it hurts him.
He wouldn't say anything for a while. He'd cry a bit, and then he'd make a fart noise, but it would be like a sad fart noise.
Devo. Got it.
Yeah. So Lawn, I don't know her name. Is it Linda? Lindret. She is the first to
Mabel, her name. No, literally, she's so old, and I'm like,
Mabel.
what's she named this character? Mabel. Also, is this the nighttime? It looks like she's working in the laundrette in the nighttime. Who's going in there?
That's all like laundrette. You go. Yeah. Does she get? She gets a Valentine's Day, and she gets a rhyme in that as well.
Yeah. It says like,
roses are red. Love you to the max. Now I'm going to smash you in the face with this massive pickaxe. And she goes, what does that mean?
Have you been writing all these?
No, that was off the cuff. I love it.
You say that. You've got like 20. I saw you look away from the camera. I bet you were like looking at the
cuff. Yeah, he's got them all pinned to the wall, heart-shaped paper.
Give like a stand-up comedian with all the weird words written on his hand.
We'll try an improv one then, right? Right, Luke, give me a murder method.
Oh God.
Strangulation. Right. Strangulation's hard.
Roses are red. If you're lonely, try masturbation.
Yeah.
This Valentine's night, don't be like Michael Hutchins. Don't be like Michael Hutchins and try strangulation.
Yeah.
And masturbation combined.
Yes. Oh God, jeez. How many beloved celebrities will we lose to strangle wanking before they learn? Don't dress as Batman and hang yourself.
That is one. Strangle wanking has ended because there's so many different streaming services that you're never bored.
Yeah.
The strangle wanking, the epidemic of strangle wanking is completely over. In the 80s, it was prevalent because we only have 4 channels.
There's not enough Star Wars for you, but now there's no end of it.
Causation or correlation.
I could shut myself in a wardrobe and wank myself to death, but I've
there's
not
a new
finished
episode
Book
of
of Boba Fett. Yeah.
I don't think that the wanking yourself to death isn't part of it. It's wanking yourself to near death.
Sometimes you'll just mess it up though.
But and then you fuck it up. But I reckon there's a moment of realization as you realize you fucked it up. Like
realization, that's another one. Yeah. Roses are red.
Anyway,
here's a quick realization: you're about to be killed with a massive strangulation.
With a masturbation and strangulation. Mabel doesn't die in that way though. She dies by getting put into. So she gets.
Well, no, that's how she dies. I mean, she gets
He gets her with a pickaxe.
That's right.
Classic.
Pickaxes her, cuts her heart out, but then he puts her in the dryer. I just kept thinking, how much money has he put in the dryer for it to be lasting all night?
Yeah, so she's probably got Mabel's like change lunchbox. Like a little Tupperware of coins.
Mabel's change lunchbox.
Yeah, it's written on it in like Sharpie, Mabel's change lunchbox.
And he's just there popping it in. Or she's got like a secret little code.
Yeah.
Oh, she's got like free play mode for the thing. And he can just put it on. Maybe this is typical like for the new Batman, because I feel like these rhymes, it is a bit like you're being killed by the Riddler, like the classic Riddler.
Yeah.
Got these little clues. So he's whilst her in the dryer, she'll be found in the morning. He's made her into like a Mabel jerky.
Yeah.
Put some rock salt in there, she'll be delicious.
This is pretty effective, and it's recreated in the remake with a different character, but pretty much the same.
Different character, different situation, scenario, place, time, but it is similar.
It's similar, where lovely steamed. They look like they've been boiled, like when people boil meat in like a big
boiled ham or something.
A boiled ham. They look like that. Yeah, it's not very appetizing. It doesn't smell good. It doesn't look good.
It looks like it doesn't smell good. Like it looks like it smells a bit cabbagey, like a bit.
Basically, perfect, because anytime anyone opens the dryer after someone's been boiled, they fall out in a terrifying, horrible way.
Like,
but I wonder, like, because they're gonna have to like the fluff filter, but that's packed. So to get that out, because otherwise it's gonna be dangerous.
That's right, it's ruined.
You're gonna have to refit this entire laundrette.
For fuck's sake.
Thing is, though, even to this day, like those condensing dryers just don't do the same as a vented one like this. It's really dry. It's really dried out. If she'd been in a condensing one, that tank would have filled up super quick. But yeah, Mabel has been jerkied. The sheriff comes up with a ridiculous idea. It's like, if anyone asks, we'll say it was a heart attack. And I was like, doesn't look like heart attack.
Heart attack. This is an heart attack. This is an heart attack. This is heart attack. Unlucky Mabel.
It's gonna be a hard sell. Before, in between them Mabel being got with the pickaxe and being found, we see a little bit of the Hollyoaks drama in where our two love rivals in the love triangle, for the same, our female leads' attentions. So TJ and Axel. I've tried to avoid saying that character.
Why are they named after like Streets of Rage characters?
Yeah, it's my dog's name. So if I say it too much, he will like say, "What are you doing? What are you talking to me about?"
Hey, it's TJ. Hey, it's Axel. Don't worry about it.
But before they have a serious talk about how, they're in love with the same girl. She's going with Axel right now.
They're like cooking food on engines. Is this bit?
They're cooking food on the engines, and they have like a bit of a jam on the harmonicas against each other.
You don't have two harmonicas.
He does one bit of harmonica, and he starts shredding a different song.
I suppose they're both in the key of C, aren't they? So it'll sound good wherever you play.
There we go.
But they basically have that route. They have that, and then they go, "Well, I still love her." I said, "Well, I don't know. Are we going to fight about it then?"
So TJ,
I like that whole. I don't know. Like it's not. They're still kids, but they're kind of trying to be mature about the whole situation. Like it's quite I don't know. I don't want to say realistic, but it feels like at least they're trying to do something interesting or mature with the characters and the relationship. I mean, it doesn't last that way.
So TJ obviously used to go out with Sarah, and then he left and didn't say why, and it's been gone for ages.
Did we ever find out why in this one?
Just went to Hollywood.
I just nipped to the shops, got lost.
Oh, he went out for a packet of smokes.
Yeah, and obviously while he's gone, his friend Axel slides in the DMs, Yeah, it's quite an interesting dynamic, and also like when we get to a point where they need to team up after being like rivals, that felt quite good as well, and like legit. It didn't feel like, it felt realistic. It felt like there was still tension there.
And then they kind of undermine the entire thing in the end, but it still kind of worked.
Yeah.
The problem I have with this bit is this scene that we get next, where just looking up the cast list, apparently, even though he's named TJ, they call him Jesse. His first name is Jesse TJ Hanniger. He picks up his ex-girlfriend, who is now going out with actual Patty, is that her name, or is it Sylvia? It's hard to tell because the actors on the pictures look a bit different now.
It's
40
Sarah.
years has passed.
Sarah's the girlfriend.
So he picks Sarah up, and she's like, goes, "Oh, I'm with Axel now," and he doesn't take no means no, TJ. He goes, "Come for a chat with me anyway." They go out for a lovely walk, and he goes, "Oh, look, I still love you, all right." And they kiss, but then he doesn't, take responsibility of saying, "Right, I'll help you talk to it." Then he just like gets on with it, and then several other times goes, "Have you seen Sarah?" "Oh, maybe I have." Just
maybe I have. Yeah, dirty bastard.
When you ask her where she was, eh? Feels like you know something, TJ.
And he was like, "Well, I don't keep tabs on her, do I?" Yeah.
Yeah. Did they say like it's your turn to take the keys, or I guess it's not my turn to look after her, or
yeah, it does say something like that.
Hey,
I guess it's not my weekend.
Yeah.
Sensibly though, at this point, the party, the Valentine's Day party that they're having is cancelled. It only took 2 murders. It only took 2 murders to get the disco down at the local rec centre cancelled.
As soon as Mabel's gone, who seems to be like one of the key organisers of this party, as a Valentine's Day enthusiast, she is
Who's going to run the tuck shop now? There's no Mabel.
Exactly, no tuck shop. No one's going to have a panda pop. 0 flumps. Mabel had all the flumps locked away somewhere, and no one knows where.
Oh, Mabel was going to bag up all the 20p mixes.
Fuck. Yeah. Gutted. And thanks to inflation, that's like free sweets these days.
Yeah. That's a cola bottle. Not even good ones. You'll get 1 cola bottle for that, and then the other 2 will be those chalky chocolate mice.
Who's looking forward? We got £4 mixes at the dance. £4 mixes? Yeah. The cost of living's got up. Sorry. Apologies.
£4 mixes. Most of these are just these little chocolate footballs in the foil. These are filler.
No one likes them. That's effort. You want to dig in and just eat. You don't want to be unwrapping. Pathetic. Yeah.
Oh, and then sometimes you'll get a gobstopper, and then it's like, is it a gobstopper? Is it a bubble gum?
Oh yeah, you got to chomp into it to find out. So even though the party is cancelled, the town's youngsters decide to have a party of their own. And when they say, "Where should we have the party?" they say, "Let's have the party." And they say in the mine, but they don't have a party in the mine. They have a party in a building.
The cafeteria near the mine.
Cafeteria near the mine. I'm like, you should say that, because the idea of having a party in the mine, if I didn't work down the mine, I would go, I don't want to go down the mine. But no, it's just a cafeteria.
And if I did work down the mine, I'd be like, I work down the mine. I don't have a party down there.
Yeah. And it's good though, because even though they have a party in the cafeteria bit, some people are on the food. You'd think they just go down and have a beer, but no, some of them are involved in catering. So like, get the hot dogs on.
Do a tin of
People are going to want to eat. Do a tin of frank. People are going to want to eat when we're there. Oh no, we're just getting wasted. That's all right. Don't worry about food. No. We're going to get the hot dogs on. You get the buns.
Gonna do a hot dog and 1 heart.
And the bartender, the guy. Oh yeah, 1 horrible boiled heart. Because the bartender dude, who is like absolutely fuming, obviously realizes that they're going to go and have a party burned by the mine, and he goes, "I've got an absolutely
I'm going to scare them.
Stellar practical joke. Luckily, I've got mine
style. Just a fist that flies out the door at them."
But you know where it goes wrong with this is that he enjoys his own prank too much.
Yeah,
Yeah, one too many
infinitely
times.
amused. Like he goes, I'm gonna have one more
Yeah.
look at that.
He lets his ego get in the way. Well, that could have been a good prank, sure, but his
Yeah.
ego gets ahead of himself.
It's
That's
It's
a
almost
great
like the
prank.
Indian in the cupboard. Like if he didn't open it up,
go on.
he wouldn't turn into a real person. Like he made Harry Warden real.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he opens it, and obviously the fake Harry Warden miner's outfit with a pickaxe comes out.
Goes Oogie Boogie.
And he goes, equality. But he looks at it. I counted this. He
The
looks
next
at it.
John and Peel movie, that. Quality.
Quality.
Mint.
Then what a prank. But he looks at it 4 times. So I mean, I don't know how many times. I don't want to look at anything 4 times, let alone this shitty prank he does.
No,
I'm
just
looking at
imagine you with a pop-up card, Ben, like you've got for your birthday. It's like, that's nice. Look again. The third time. Back on the shelf.
3rd time is my fill. Not only does he look 3 times and enjoys it each time, he walks away and then goes,
One more.
better have one more. But also, Harry Warden is anticipating this. If I was Harry Warden, I would have jumped out on the 3rd go. The 4th go feels like one too many. He's got
I would
lucky.
have waited behind him. So he does open the door, he goes, turns around, and then like walks into Harry Warden's chest.
Yeah.
Much better. Because Harry Warden, what he has to do in those seconds is awkwardly take down the other one. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, shit.
Get into position, and you'd hear it. What's that rattling around in that cupboard I've literally just closed?
Well, he wouldn't, because he's too busy laughing. He's like,
unless that's on a pulley system as well, and just goes up to the ceiling.
Yeah.
He just lowers himself down.
The entire town runs on pulley systems.
I bet Harry Warden is thinking to himself.
The cars don't even have engines.
Just
They're
pulleys.
just pulleys.
Police.
Maybe Harry is thinking at this point.
They use their engines to cook food.
He himself is laughing, thinking like everyone's having like just the most fun from their jokes. Like that guy's laughing, and Harry Warden's I'm gonna get him. He's like getting ready. Like maybe the 3rd time he opened the door, it was the real Harry Warden, but he just pretended to do the joke the first time. Like,
yeah.
So while this party is going on, everyone's having beers and various things are happening, and couples kind of break off into different areas to go and, I guess,
shag
to go and have a
Next
go
John
and have
and
a
Peel
shag. Shag is about. So there's one guy.
Seabirds.
There's one guy who goes into the kitchen to what's he doing? Having a look at the hot dogs?
He's gonna cook them up.
Check
He's
if they're cooked okay.
He's got a pan of water on, and he's like, right, boil up some hot dogs.
That
and then
smells like that laundrette, this from the other day.
And then he gets shoved in the hot dog water. And do you think he's drowned in the hot dog water or boiled? What's cause of death?
Both.
Sorry, you're not
he looked boiled. Maybe he inhaled some water and one of the hot dogs went perfectly down his throat.
He choked.
A sausage made of pig's assholes and eyelids, and
it's a bit weird because I mean, he had his pickaxe there. Why? Surely that's a noisy way to kill someone with hot dog water. Why not just pickaxe?
He couldn't help himself. He's almost like that guy playing the prank where he's like, "Oh, this is going to be brilliant.
This is really going to get me.
They're going to love this." And then after that, I'm going to put him in the fridge and I'm going to cut his heart out and put that in the hot dogs. And hopefully someone accidentally eat it. This is a weird shaped hot dog. Oh well.
Do you think he's like saying loads of quips and stuff, but we can't hear him? He's like has amazing like hot dog puns. He's like laughing to himself.
This really cuts the mustard.
At this point, though, he has given up the rhymes because isn't there a letter that's come to the prank man that it just says roses are red, roses red. You didn't stop the Halloween. You did Halloween. Fuck off.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's like
he's given up.
Yeah, that's why he didn't stop the Halloween. He's crossed out and he's like, fuck it, I've not got time to write another one now.
Roses are red,
Day.
hot dogs you cooked, violets to blue, and now you are fucked.
Yeah.
You know that one?
That's pretty good.
It's not as good as yours. I need to practice. I need to put in some reps like Andy's been doing for this past week.
Andy's been doing Valentine's rap battles for years. It's fine.
8 Mile style. Just Valentine's. Valentine poems.
Violets are blue.
Mom
Horror
spaghetti.
films are usually shorter. I'm going to drown this here kid in this nice hot dog water.
Hot dog water as well. Imagine drinking a glass of
Brine.
fresh hot dog brine.
Yeah, Brian. Oh,
It's
roses
really,
are red.
really refreshing.
Roses are red. Poems are better when they rhyme. I'm going to drown this here kid in this hot dog brine. There you go.
Lovely.
Wow,
So after after killing him in the hot dogs, he then goes and kills a young lady who was waiting for a boyfriend to go and get a load of beers, and then they were going to
That's
get.
pretty good.
Oh, that's it's the sick burn.
Why does he
that comes up
turn
here.
why does he turn the shower on?
Well,
Like,
for some
Because
reason,
it looks great.
It does look good.
She's asked him, can you demonstrate how the pulley system works? The clothes, because yeah, sure, it's like this, makes all the clothes go up and down.
Yeah.
And then you go, oh, you know what we need? He goes, oh, dingers. Yeah, I've got some. Don't worry. He goes, oh, not dingers, beers. He goes, oh, okay, I'll go and get some of those then. He goes to get the beers.
What quip do you think he says when he's doing the pulleys? Bit nippy, love. I don't know.
Yeah, as I said, when her boyfriend comes back with the beers, he like clinks them together, like she's gonna come running.
like she's the Warriors, and he's trying to tempt her out to play.
Very strange. But then you notice how tall this guy is, because even though the killer put her up on the like shower head thing, whatever it was, and like impaled her on it and killed her, her tall boyfriend comes in and he's like, he's at eye line with her. He's like absolutely gigantic.
Big old tall lurch that's got her. And she's got a little poem on her chest that says, if you're trying to lose weight, you can try a bit of running. Don't worry about your girlfriend. I've stitched her into the plumbing. And he's
into the plumbing.
And he's plumbed her in.
I mean, it's a pretty good job, to be fair.
I don't understand why he does it, and then he goes, like turns the taps on.
What? Her nipples. That's what it looked like you were doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
A little bit warm. To be fair, the water pressure looks better coming out of her mouth than it did coming directly out of the shower head. So
Is she like, those things that you see on Facebook ads that's like, I'll get this shower head that's full of rocks or whatever that makes your water pressure much better in your shower and uses less water, in fact. Maybe sticking a woman from the 1980s on the top of your shower head would do the exact same thing. Obviously, the modern thing with the stones is more sustainable and less cruel, but
less cruel.
The result is the same. If you stick a person's bonds on the shower head, you get a much better pressure.
So everybody at the party like realizes what's happening. They like loads of them leave, but they like call the police as well. However, already a group of them, say a group, there's like 4 of them, already go down into the mines. They're like, right, I'm not happy being in this cafeteria on the premises of the mine. I want to go down into the mine to really get my drink on.
I want to go down like on the sort of mine cart ride that you have.
Yeah, it's like
fun. A roller coaster.
But it's like, I say that's fun. It goes at like 1 mile an hour, so it's not really that much fun.
No.
But the guy, Hollis, I think his name is, the mustachioed guy, I quite like him. Dr. Robotnik. Yeah, well, he's not a doctor yet.
At one point,
Mr. Robotnik.
When they were riding down, he was holding on to his girlfriend, and I thought I'd feel safe with him if I was in his arms.
I like that he's got some nice mine trivia as well. It's a bit like it reminded me of the Relic. When they had loads of that thing about the tunnel system underneath Chicago. It was like, this mine shaft here. Oh, why are the walls all dusty? And he's like, I told you, we cover
the mine insert.
Yeah, it's the mine insert. It's the lime actually to stop the wood from cracking. It keeps it in good condition, and it's stops the beam fires.
Come on,
stops the beam fart explosions. Grow up.
Yeah.
So yes, what's his name? TJ and the other guy's name is Axel. They decide they're going to go down to save everyone together to team up. Which is quite nice.
So it's like a moment of we're going to put our differences aside. I know we're both into the same girl, but we can discuss that rivalry when the time is right. But for now, we need to go and save her. and whoever saves her gets to keep her. All right, so fucking see you later. It's awkward though, because they kind of shake hands, like, right, we're gonna do this, and then they get into the lift awkwardly together and go down. Like they already say they already say goodbye and then go the same direction.
They're like pushing each other to see. It's like.
So doing anything nice?
But at this point, people are already dying, I think, in the mine. So I don't know how that works with regards to the twist. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. I don't know.
I need to watch it again
sure.
see how it times out. So who goes first? I think it's Hollis who dies first. Then maybe it's the girl.
So there's a couple who go. What I'll tell you what is quite nice about this as well. There are a few deaths that happen off screen. It doesn't feel like
this
it needs
couple.
to show. Yeah, like this couple. It doesn't feel the need to show every single murder. And this would have been a pretty good murder to show because the pickaxe goes through to both of them. Obviously, they're doing in a horror movie. Never have sex. Never do that.
It's easier to skewer you with a pickaxe.
Easier to skewer. And also, it's like if you get 2 kills in one, you get more bonus points. So
yeah.
If this killer was a Michael Myers in the new one, and it apparently gets some kind of health multiplier from people he's killed, you're raging by now. Your special bar would be full.
Yeah. So they die, and then I think Hollis gets killed with a nail gun.
A nail gun with a silencer? He goes like a thing, and she goes.
But he gets nail gunned, and like he's all right. He's like stumbling around. Well, he's not all right.
He's got a headache. Yeah, poorly.
He's ever so poorly. He's stumbling around. The problem is with this is that this final group split up way too often. It's like, right, we need to go and find these people. And when the 2 guys, TJ and Axel, find the group, they split up first. Then when they find the group, they're like, right, you stay with the girls. I'm going to go find these guys. It's like, that's just, it's too complicated. It's like there's no sticking together.
Yeah. And then like they've done the bit where like the classic joke, he's already made them jump by like Spider-Manning down from the ceiling, like whoa, swinging down. It's like, oh geez, come on.
And then he can't go down without some help. Like they have to help him down. So Hollis gets nailed in the head. He gets nailed and killed.
Yeah, he gets nailed.
TJ and Thingy arrive, but TJ goes to find the other 2 who've been killed off screen.
Yeah,
I think. So then the other 4, they start to work their way out, and I think the killer's coming. He's like smashing out the light bulbs and stuff. Is he?
Yeah, his stealth. Yeah. The killers come in. The light bulbs are being smashed, and that increases his ability for stealth. It reminds me of playing original Splinter Cell, where it was really down to light mechanics, and you go and shoot the light bulbs. It's like creep around in there.
I think it gets really complicated now with who's with people splitting up, and I think that's to try and cover up the tracks of who the killer actually is.
Yeah.
TJ gets planked. So basically, they found Dr. Robotnik has been murdered. Like they do the classic things that you do in the 80s, where one of the girlfriends is hysterical, and the other girl, like Sarah, has no choice but to slap her. He goes, "Oh, thanks." Yeah. Thanks, I needed that slap in the face, and I'm already having a bad time.
I'm right now, actually.
They meet Axel, and they're creeping around, and they think it might be the murderer, so like wallops him with a plank, but it is just TJ. And he's going, "Oh, blooming hell, what are you that for?"
Yeah, Axel falls into like a 600 foot.
Oh, that's after the too much ladder. Because the murderer has broken the
ladder
lift controls. So he goes, the only way out of the mine, we can't take up the lift anymore, so we've got to go up the most ladder. It's like the Snake Eater ladder.
Yeah, it's the ladder from Snake Eater. It's just like unbelievable. And then I think I missed this part, but that's how what's his name?
This bit's quite gory. Yeah, he kind of falls out of nowhere,
beheaded. Yeah.
And his body kind of falls down.
Yeah, Patty doesn't want to climb the ladder. She's had enough of it. She's like, "Oh, no more ladder, please."
I've had an absolute guts full of this ladder. I've had it up to a ladder. We'll go a bit further up, and then we'll be out.
Ladders are one of those things. Like, I'm afraid, like you can't just nope out of a ladder when you don't want to be on it anymore. Well,
yeah, exactly. You can. I'm going down. Well, no, you can't. Go up. I don't want to do that. Well, you're screwed then, aren't you?
You got no choices. There's no sideways off a ladder just to stop. So you've got to climb up. But you're right. Like the Joker character we've hated this whole time, finally gets his, where we don't really see what happens. Like, some people just slip and then he just...
I think he was trying to do a joke and it went wrong. Look at this noise, guys.
You never guess what? I'm gonna drink this can of Coke through my arsehole. Oh no, I've accidentally beheaded myself. That's his problem. Makes one too many jokes, ends up beheading himself. I mean, it's a lesson. It's a lesson. But yeah, after that is a bit where Axel off screen seems to fall into a puddle, and we see like some air bubbles of him drowning.
Deoxygenated water that it's impossible to swim in. You just fall into oblivion, like abyss down there. It's like, and it's like, oh, TJ helping. TJ helping us. I can't. That's
like 6 million foot deep.
That's literally 25,000 leagues under the sea.
Yeah,
he's done. He's done for.
He's into the center of the earth. But I think it's like we see it's like his helmet bulb like sinking there as well.
It's like, I'm gone into oblivion forever.
The bubble pops and he goes, goodbye.
Yeah. It's gone to rapture off he pops.
So now it's TJ and Sarah, and they're almost out, I think. And then there's a train cart.
Yeah, I think
Patty versus pickaxe fight.
Patty's still with them, but she basically gets the
same.
The same thing has happened to TJ, except the killer doesn't have a plank. He has a horrible pickaxe.
Yeah.
He gets her in the tum, and she's finished. She's been pickaxed as well. She's done for.
Yeah.
So it's just now TJ, Sarah, the killer, and they have like the slow minecart chase.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, finally we're safe. Nope, this minecart is going.
That would be like, you know, when you go to those like parks and there's like little kids trains that just take people around the park.
Yeah,
they're like 2 miles per hour. It'd be like having a train chase on that.
That's the walk. Oh, that's right. It takes you up out of the mine at the end of the day. I want to get in faster. I'm just gonna walk. See you later.
So you get they're chasing up there. Meanwhile, the sheriff and the townspeople and everyone, they're heading down that path.
Yeah.
To head towards them. TJ then fights the mine killer with a spade. It's like pickaxe versus spade. I
like that they did it in the remake as well.
Yeah,
like a pickaxe shovel fight.
Pickaxe versus spade.
I know we haven't mentioned the remake much, but I guess it is pretty similar. There are just, with all the deaths, there are gratuitous 3D moments.
Even like the newspapers at the start, are so 3D.
Yeah, there's like eyeballs coming towards the screen, pickaxes, blood splatters, bullets.
Nudity.
There's a
poking through the screen.
Yeah, there's an entire head chop with a spade, right? Someone gets like head halved, lower jaw taken out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of nudity. There's one character who spends pretty much the entirety of the time on screen.
Yeah.
Completely naked. Don't know if that was in 3D. Probably.
Do you think when they told her like the part, they were like, "You're going to be naked." Like, what do you want me to make? What do you want me to wear for the? Am I going to wear my own clothes? Going to be some wardrobe? No.
Well, you can have some wardrobe. You can have some wardrobe in the opening scene set 10 years before the rest of the film, but in all of the current day stuff, you're going to be completely naked.
Oh yeah, of course.
Well, you're going to shoot it tastefully. Yeah, we'll shoot it tastefully.
Oh, we'll shoot it tastefully to begin with. Like in that first bit when you're sitting on the bed, your crotch will be covered up, but afterwards you are just going to be chasing after a trucker in the car park.
There's also going to be a bit where there's a camera on the floor and you're going to be running away naked, and the camera be shooting straight up at your arse as you sprint off.
You'll make me look good though, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, please tell me at least I'll survive for a bit.
Then we're going to show you with your ribcage open. Still naked.
Your heart will be out.
Your heart will be out. Like you're gonna be leaving everything on the screen, pretty much.
Yeah. Like you're gonna be like literally you're gonna show it all in this film.
How did you guys feel about Jensen Ackles? It's a bit weird for me because I've seen so much Supernatural, and this came out around the time of the first couple of seasons of Supernatural.
Did it really?
Yeah.
I tell. Should we do the reveal? Because then we can talk about the different points. So basically, spade versus pickaxe, and then just as the killer has won, they pull the mask off and they go, Blumin' hell, Axel, you're not at the bottom of the sea at all. You're the killer.
Pickaxel.
Pickaxel. Pickaxel gets smashed with a rock, and then a big cave-in happens.
Yeah.
And then a big cave-in happens, and then
But
it's
then
revealed.
He does a 127 hours where he cuts his own arm off.
I really like that bit. I don't know why.
Such a mad ending.
Yeah, it is meant to. And he kind of runs away, like giggles as he runs into the. I'll be back.
Now he's officially been revealed as insane. He doesn't, because otherwise he's completely concealed his insanity for the entire movie.
Yeah.
Now that people know he's absolutely mad, he has been buried for only a minute because the police all arrive. They dig him out. Sarah kind of still forgives him a little bit because she goes, "Oh, it's Axel's hand. I'll hold it." And then the hand comes off because once she's grabbed his hand, he chews his arm off. Yeah. Just his teeth, and then runs into the mud. Yeah, he bites it off,
knife, doesn't he?
Oh, he's maybe knifes it off. Fine.
Absolutely.
I think he bited it. He bit it off. He bited it off, and then he just laughs. He goes, "Oh, Harry, I'm with you, mate. Let's do one." He runs off into the mine, never to be seen again. And then
neither of the killers revealed are actually Harry Warden. Poor Harry Warden's getting his name dragged through the mud.
And we hear like a little bit like the sheriff just goes, "Oh no, I had a call that you heard me get earlier on. He's been dead for years."
2 days. Yeah.
And also, as soon as it's revealed to be Axel, luckily there's someone on hand to give him some backstory. He was the son. I can't remember who said this.
He was the son. He's the son, and it shows the mine owner being smashed up and having, for having Halloween, fuck off, for having Valentine's Day parties.
You're losing your mind.
Yeah, it was him that got killed, and Axel was his son who was just standing there.
Yeah,
I think was he under the bed? I thought he got blood on his face.
He's under the bed. So if you witness that, you're like, "That's terrible. It scarred me for life. I'm going to
become
that murderer."
That's awesome.
That's top quality. That is. That's top quality.
That's meant top quality. Another Jordan Peele movie.
Boston. Yeah.
And obviously, in the remake, it's revealed to be.
It's the other way around.
It's the other way around.
I liked it. Justice
they really did. I did not know who it was going to be.
No. A classic moment as well, where there's two people and you're like, one of them's the killer, and they're both kind of pleading with Jamie. Is it Jamie King? Jamie King, is that her name?
Yeah.
They're pleading with her, who plays the girlfriend / wife who's married to the other character. They're pleading with her to, shoot one of us. No, it's him. Well, shoot me then. No, you shoot him.
You did a classic thing where the person who is the goodie says to do something that would inconvenience them, and it's Axel's the goodie in this one. Yeah. And like what they did with it, I alluded to this at the start, that he's not necessarily a good bloke. So the time has shifted a little bit. They're not teenagers. Since the first murders, Axel has now become the sheriff, and Tommy has come back and is he's still the outcast. He's come back.
Did you recognize Axel from another horror franchise as well?
Oh, isn't he Carter from Final Destination?
He sure is. Yeah, he's Carter.
I pulled that name. So he is. Yeah, he is like Axel. The sheriff is the sheriff now, and he's not a good bloke. He's having an affair, and he has motives. So because he's having an affair with the girl that works at the supermarket with his wife, and she is pregnant and wants him to basically leave his wife and be with her.
Yeah.
And then she gets murdered. So you're kind of set up to think, well, that's him, isn't it? But it's not. It's that TJ's gone mad.
Well, TJ thinks that Harry Warden is alive, but there was a couple of times early on where Harry Warden's looking at him through the cage, and they're kind of moving in a kind of mirrored kind of way.
Yeah.
So they did play quite well, because every time I thought, it's definitely Tom Hanniger, like Axel would do something, and I think, it could be Axel actually.
It's Axel because you're a bit shady.
Yeah, I kind of I wanted it to be Axel because he was a bit of a dickhead, whereas the Tom Hanniger guy seemed.
I kind of liked it that it wasn't Axel, because he is technically the goodie, but he's not a good bloke at the same time. So it's So it makes it a little bit more interesting, because I imagine quite a lot of these times that the person that isn't a murderer doesn't have to be nice.
Yeah.
He's a twat. Has he done a murder though? No, just a bit of
not this murder.
adultery. Just a bit of adultery.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that.
Oh yeah. Bit of name game for you. Not a huge amount. So if you want to throw some in, feel free to. So the first one, it's about a deranged jive dancer, long thought to be dead, who returns on Valentine's Day to get people's feet moving.
Jive dancer. My.
He likes to get down on the dance floor.
Get down. Get down. I can't think of anything. Give me a clue.
Well, you had the first bit.
My
is the last bit Valentine?
Yeah, the last bit's still Valentine. So it's it's a dance word.
It's a dance.
My boogie
Valentine.
My boogie Valentine.
My boogie woogie. So the next one, a decades old folktale surrounding a deranged chimney sweep returns from the grave to cover people in coal dust on Valentine's Day. Some mining dust on Valentine's Day.
My sooty
Valentine.
My sooty Valentine.
It's a little yellow bear does that.
And the last one I've got here, a decades old pitch from the Dragon's Den TV show returns from the grave and keeps trying to convince one of the dragons to invest in its marijuana for young dogs product range. So much information there.
Is what marijuana for young dogs?
Product
My
range.
puppy.
So decades old pitch from Dragon's Den returns from the grave and keeps trying to convince one of the dragons to invest in its marijuana for young dogs product range.
Marijuana for young dogs. My puppy. Is it the first bit? My?
No.
Shit.
So
marijuana for dogs.
Marijuana for dogs. So my Rwana for dogs.
A young dog, sorry.
So the second word's definitely puppy.
Puppy.
Yeah.
Puppy.
And the dragon is Valentine.
Valentine.
So my
Hi Puppy Valentine.
Hi Puppy Valentine.
Oh, God damn it.
I have one that's a twist on that one, if you like, Luke, but I can't think of another last word now. So a miner is furious because when he is trapped down a pit after an explosion, he's trapped down there with a Scottish gym owner, and they get into a fight over the last stick of Wrigley's.
My gummy.
It's an English colloquialism for
Chuddy.
Yeah, my chuddy Valentine.
Chuddy.
And the only other one I have is someone gets into a right old tiz because of the events of a romantic holiday in February. Halloween, and they get quite red-faced about it.
My ruddy Valentine.
Yeah, my ruddy Valentine.
Well done.
There we go.
Oh,
nice
good.
one.
So I need to rate the movie or movies. How are you guys going to go?
Interesting. I think I prefer the original. I think I maybe said that before. Just because as a slasher, especially like an early slashers and the early iterations of slasher movies, I think it does a lot right. The characters, even though some of them are annoying, like the characters of victims, at least they're quite dynamic and they've got different relationships going on. They're not just like, and I think in the remake, it's a lot of the people who just die are kind of just like fodder. Yeah, fodder. Let's call them fodder. Yeah, I did like the 3D stuff in the original, and it was super gory. It was pretty brutal, you know. But in terms of the relationships and the mystery,
Yeah.
I was way more invested in the original. So for that, I'm gonna give the original C plus, and I'm gonna give the remake a flat C.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
What about you, Andy?
Roses are red. You can churn milk to cheese. I'm going to give both of these movies a right pair of C's.
Oh,
Right
say
there
B's.
is-
There you go. Yeah, I think,
C's.
as I said, I think the remake plays on the strength of the original. And twists on that to make something a little bit more interesting. So it's a fun thing to do as a remake. I think changing the murder is a fun little step to make from it. The 3D goes hard. I think I said to you before we started recording, it makes both Freddy and Jason's attempts at 3D look positively subtle by comparison. Makes that Final Destination movie that's 3D look understated. It goes really hard on that 3D, and it goes really hard on the gore and kills, but it can't exist without the original. And I think the original is, I think, a fairly overlooked slasher, because that thing on the tumble dryer and the hot dogs and everything, that is pretty good.
Yeah.
There's some pretty good and creative stuff. Not enough to separate the two movies. I think both of them can sit with a C for me.
Cool. I'm gonna go with quite an original take, in the sense that I agree with Ben, and the original is better. The original is, I actually really like it. I think in terms of like old school slashes like that, I think it's like kind of spot on. Like it's exactly what you want from a slasher from the early 80s. Fun, interesting kills, kind of a stupid but interesting lore or like reason behind the killer doing what he's doing. Like, you know, if you put this against Maniac Cop or what's our favorite again, Andy?
Sleepaway Camp.
Sleepaway Camp. It's not as good as Sleepaway Camp, obviously.
Few things are.
Yeah, but I think this one sits quite nicely against like the original Friday the 13th, and I'd probably actually prefer to watch this to the original Friday the 13th, to be honest. So I'm going to give the original a B minus, and the remake, I think, definitely feels a bit more forgettable.
Years later, people wouldn't be able to pin, any reasonable person wouldn't be able to pin what holiday it's tied to, I'd imagine.
Yeah. It's nice to see these. It was quite nice to watch, but I don't. If I hadn't been forced to watch it for the podcast, I don't think I would have got around to it at any time soon. But I think I just genuinely enjoyed watching the original.
Yeah.
So the remake, I'd give it a C, but the original B minus. B minus.
B minus. Very.
Oh no! Wow.
I think the strength of that, the aesthetic of the Miner character as well.
Yeah.
It's kind of a timeless, like a look as well, because I don't know what Miners dress in regularly today, but
exactly the same.
It feels like that. It's that
all the mines have been bloody closed because of Thatcher's Britain.
This film was Thatcher's worst nightmare. Some miner coming back from the closed mine to come and pick at you.
God, and it's the way she actually died.
Mabel was a Tory, I think.
Yeah, they covered it up. That's how Margaret Thatcher died, and they said, "Oh, it's just a heart attack."
It was actually
just that she was really old. Oh no, Harry Warden got her.
No, sorry.
It was a minor, and the twist was it was Prince William this whole time.
Is that your remake pitch? Genuinely, I know we're doing some remake pitches. I would be interested for us to put together something on this, like a lesser known. I
feel like a mining film would sit quite well. Like a mining horror in England, I think would sit really well. Like horrible things happen in mines all the time.
And we could film it on location because we've got loads of those mines that aren't being used because of Mrs. Thatcher. Still.
Yeah. Actually, got my mining lantern here. Actually, you can see.
There you go.
Yeah.
Going for a little mine later.
See? Maybe Luke's the killer.
Actually, it works, but I think the flint's gone.
It works, but it's out of methane.
Yeah. I don't have methane in this house
Down
anymore.
that fart's mine.
Too much of it, to be honest here.
Have to check the lines, Luke. You'll be trapped in there for 6 weeks.
I've checked the lines. I've taken some special tablets.
It's a dog, all right? It's a dog. The dog's not even here. The cat, then. Fuck's sake. There we go.
Cool. All right. Thanks for listening. Next week.
Orphan?
What?
Orphan.
Orphan. I thought it said
Yeah.
Orphan.
Wolfenstein. Orphan. Special guest
What?
next week as well.
What?
Yeah.
Was I offended?
Lucy's
What
with
we
us
do?
next week, right? To talk about is she an
Yeah.
orphan
Yeah.
expert or just a fun person that's joining us?
Just a fun
that is
person,
not,
but also-
not associated with orphans.
I've never said her. I've never
It's
said her
an
name.
orphan.
I've never said her name out loud. Lucy Buglass. Is that what we're saying?
I thought it was Booglass.
Booglass. See, who knows? I'm gonna have to confirm
It's
that
like
with her.
it's like
beforehand.
Hermione all over again.
She's a tomato meter approved critic.
Is that how you say
Probably-
it? Tomato meter, not
Tomato meter.
tomato meter.
Tomato meter. You say
Tomatometer.
tomato meter. I say tomato meter.
So basically,
Let's go.
several words that we can't say. Lucy Buglass, tomato eater.
As someone who struggles, on a
fan.
day-to-day basis with pronouncing words, join us for next week's episode. We'll be discussing Orphan, the year of the Orphan sequels. Huh?
Tomato meter. Judgment Day.
Tomatometer.
There we go.
Cool.
Right, until
Thanks
then,
for
though.
listening. Thanks to our patrons. Go to Patreon, patreon.com/horror hangout. There will be, are we putting the trailer reaction on there?
Yeah, that'll be
Yeah.
on there
The Nope.
earlier.
The Nope trailer reaction. It'll be on there at some point, maybe the
At
same
some
day,
point.
very
I like
soon.
it.
If it's not on there immediately as this episode drops, it will be there within a few
Yeah.
hours.
It will be on there with either the past or the future of you hearing that.
Who
Possibly
knows?
the present if you're listening to it at a very, very specific time.
Jesus.
Well, these patrons here are going to be able to enjoy that trailer reaction. Lane Spencer, John Crennan, Ben Scaife, Stephen Christopher, Toby Miller, Laura Kendrick, Ollie Child, Scott Rigby, and the Demon Pazuzu. So thanks very much for supporting us.
Thank you.
Thanks to Kovac Cameron for theme music. Thanks to Acast for hosting the show. And thanks to the listeners. Please rate and review and hit subscribe. And thanks to my co-host Ben and Andy for being right horror dudes.
Thank you very much, Luke. Thank you very much, Andy.
Roses are red. Sometimes sex can be rude. Thanks to you guys for being right horror dudes. Goodbye, everybody.
Wonderful. See you
Nice.
later.
Bye.
All the best.
Bye. Happy Halloween. Bye.